Hi, Warriors. Hi, Igmar. How are you? Yes, another golden morning that will turn into a golden sunset. Hello, Mike. How are you? Steve? Silver looks weaker. Gold silver ratio is bottomed. How you doing, Ryan? Paul?
Yeah, Dale, something's going on in the yen.
Yeah, yeah. I know. The yen
No, like,
changed a lot of stuff,
No,
right?
no, like right now,
right now.
like
Oh,
right at this
okay.
moment.
Is it kind of falling again?
Yeah,
Falling. Okay. So you guys shorted that up there?
I did.
No.
I
You
did.
did?
Yeah,
What is
34.
wrong with you, man?
Just had a little scalp off the high.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You carry on. I'm
I
taking some
took
profit.
some I took some profits off long dollars this morning from last week, just in case that started to happen. Well, it's not really happening in the dollar that much, but yen, huh? Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it almost got to objectives of 152 in a day. So anyway, this definitely was the change that not a lot of people were expecting, but were warned by Ryan that if she won, this was going to happen. So anyone who went home long, good guess, right? It was a good guess. So here we are in euro. Let's talk about you want to start with the end? Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, we can do, mate. Yeah, big reaction. Massive reaction. Obviously, it was a bit of a shock that she won. She's already sort of talked about changing things with the BOJ, which has got the market a bit antsy. She's a bit of a fiscal dove. So now we're just waiting to see who she puts in place in her cabinet, in the key positions, and what her policies are going to be. So we've had the shock. The market's obviously reacting to the shock. We now need to wait and see what happens next. But yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit of a dip buy moving forward for at least the next few sessions.
So do you think that was
Oh,
the do you think that was the catalyst for taking euro down? What yen
no,
did
that,
today?
that was that was the French Prime Minister resigning after 27 days.
Oh, okay, a very long term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Yeah, yeah, we have to say it probably did have impact on our interest rates today. Again, a gap with the yen, not the same kind, but it held where, it had to. Last week I talked about it pulling back to 61.8 and that you could short notes and then you're wrong if we took out 4%. But now it looks like we'll challenge this 420. I'm expecting a breakout that'll take us to 440. And I don't think the long bond guys look at what it's sitting on. If that's not Wile E. Coyote on the ledge, I've never seen it. I'm not saying it can't bounce, but it's really respected this horizontal kind of breakout that we had a few weeks ago. And if it negates it, that's no good. Especially, I think if it takes out 88, we're going to new lows and bounds. So that's a big story. And, like Igmar says, it's another golden morning. Um, I will say this, though, silver's way underperforming today. We're getting a nice bounce. Talked about a low coming in gold silver ratio. So when the market does come down, the silver will come down harder, I think, now. I wouldn't be surprised if a buddy of mine, well, James Henry Anderson, sent me a tweet by somebody. And this is, let me just go to my Twitter page for just a minute. And it shows, pride before the fall, arrogance before the fall. And where was that thing? Here it is. There you go. So all the precious metal guys, before the breakouts finally happened, would have blamed every sell, on the conspiracy guys that were trying to hold down silver. They called him Mr. Slammy. And someone put up a tombstone like silver will never break again. Mr. Slammy is dead. So I see him on deck since we're in, Major League Baseball playoffs, World Series is on deck. But that's Mr. Slammy. Go ahead, Blake. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I think you were
Oh
gonna
no,
say
no, no. It was Honda was talking about that the dollar yen move above 150 is a bit too much, and that's what put some pressure on the dollar
I see.
yen lower. But buyers are f filling in ahead of 50 because everybody's like, well, if Ryan's shorting up here, we're going to screw him.
Yeah.
That's the general consensus
Won't
at
be the
this
first
moment.
time.
All
Won't be
right.
the first
I'm
Well,
just
time. Won't be
kidding.
the last.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
so
there's a lot of volatility around these
I've had
levels,
this
obviously.
line. I've had this line up in the end for a while, and maybe we're going to get to it. That's above 52.
Well,
Well,
that 150 is important today because we've just held it again as support. It was the prior high, late September at 150, and we keep holding it there.
Yeah.
and let me say something really quick, and Ryan, you can talk about this. We they're obviously all of us here are we're old enough to remember when Abenomics and Abe just basically said, he came to the market with his three-prong approach, and the dollar yen went from the 80s to basically one wherever the hell it went to, like almost up in a straight line. I say in a straight line, it because it took like a few months to move the way that it did. But I can't tell you how many people faded this move, and it was, I mean, it made people look absolutely silly back in 2011, 2012. We went from basically 88 or 80, I'm sorry, we went from 82, 83 to 120, like, within, a couple of years. But it was relentless. And can you explain to everybody why um, uh, uh, um, the market feels this way at this point in time, that this could happen again with Takachi?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're expecting that sort of rally to go from 88 to 100s. But
Right.
she is seen as sort of from the stable of Abe. So she is going to be a fiscal dove, and what that means for spending, borrowing, what she's insinuating about the Bank of Japan. Um, yeah, I mean, I, I don't, unless she comes out with some really, really big measures. If she starts pulling out sort of Abe-sized arrows, then we might be shooting up that high. But otherwise, I think, chances are she may not be as hardline as she's making out, and we might not see that sort of rally in dollar yen, because this is politics. She's
Sure.
come in. If her bark's not as bad as her bite, or if her bite's not as bad as her bark, then yeah, we'll top out and probably remain, as I say, remain on the weak side for a while until we know exactly what she's doing. But then we'll go back to trading everything else again.
So the Nikkei up 5% and at all-time highs. Do you think that's a bit of an overreaction today?
I think so. I think so. That's one I won't fade, most certainly, because she's already said she's going to do cut taxes and give handouts to people, so we know where that will go. So yeah, though moves like that are going to continue. But when you're looking at dollar yen, there's two sides to the pair, isn't there? And we've got to keep a focus on what's happening on the US side of things as well.
Yeah, and on the U.S. side of things, if we get follow through in the Dixie here, looks like 98.80, still 50 away. That would be a breakout of this range, of this channel, and it actually measures up towards 101 and a half, 102 if we get a breakout this week. So dollar bears beware. I mean, it might be a great fade for a day trade, but I think this caught a lot of people off guard. A lot of people were, saying 94 in the dollar. I guess it could still happen, but um, uh, the challenge is on the dollar bears now. The pressure is on the bears rather than on the bulls. And we know that the market's still very bearish a dollar. So this would alleviate that huge bearishness. And you know, 101, $102 does not say that the bear market's over. You know, it's just a correction of this decline up here to 102, and then the decline could continue to 90 or 85 or so. It's just you know, a correction and shake out some of the lopsided positioning, and dollar short will be better up there than down here. That's the way I see it. How about
Yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, I think that the risk to the dollar rallying is how long this shutdown goes on for. You know,
Okay.
a lot of people are still saying, ah, it's going to be nothing. They'll get a deal done, and you know everything will be fine and dandy. Well, what if we're 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line and there's still no deal? The market's probably not going to be taking uh, too good a view of that
Well, if they
because
want to reopen the government, they need to take the market down because that's when they'll react. Every time the market fails under political uncertainty is how the politicians finally act. That's how I've seen that happen many times. So actually, a falling stock market is going to probably maybe even push the president more than the Democrats, since a lot of the Democrats, their constituencies, don't even own stocks. So I've seen that before. We saw it with TARP. So they got TARP through, you know, that when it wasn't going to pass, the market fell apart, and then the next day they passed it. So just something to keep in mind that, you know, the cure for the shutdown is a decline in S&Ps, but that's not happening. Did we make new highs today in S&Ps? Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, new highs. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, unstoppable train. Look at NASDAQ. Oh my gosh, it's up 250. All right. Any ideas on risk with this going on? I guess this was positive risk with yeah, the yen going US dollar yen
Well,
going
look at the
higher.
Nikkei. Do you have the Nikkei up there?
No, I don't, but you
It's
said it
it's
exploded.
Yeah, I mean it's all-time highs. I mean it and up 5%. I mean it's up huge,
Yeah,
man. And then you
yeah,
got Bitcoin rallying to all-time highs. You got I
yeah.
mean
Every
it's the
gold,
buy everything market, Dale.
yeah,
It still is. But you know what? It's been that way with a uh weaker dollar. Let's see what happens, you know, if the dollar breaks out. Just something to warn you on Bitcoin here. Here's one, here's two. We could end up with a three, and this time I don't think that will confirm at 125. What was the high up here? 25. Okay. All right. You know, that's pretty much what I have. I think the interest rate picture um, has cleared up despite what the Fed's going to do. I wouldn't short this. Would you, Ryan? Look at that chart.
I don't know if he heard you.
I wouldn't
yeah. Sorry,
short.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't short this. Would you?
What short the yield or short the
Well,
buy?
that'd be, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be looking for lower numbers
Yeah. I don't know.
in
I think that
yields.
420, like you say, that 420 is going to be super important. Um, and I think if we hold there again, that's going to be that 420. That's going to be a very important signal because
We,
you know rates are still coming down. The Fed are still going to take rates down. So I don't think we're out the woods with lower yields yet.
Well,
Okay.
don't forget on Wednesday and Thursday, you know the Fed is slopping off some 10-year and 30-year in auction. So just it's going to be that could be a market mover as far as yields go. So just remember there's a lot of supply hitting the market this week. But Dale, I can take over from here if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and just kind of let's talk a little bit about the euro really quick because the euro was a big mover overnight. What put some pressure on the euro, Ryan? I mean, you saw the euro break down. We obviously have really big horizontal support. My opinion is if we break 116.50, we're going straight to 116, and you know that would confirm what Dale's saying about the the euro. So what was the driver today in the euro?
As I mentioned, the French Prime Minister, who's been in the job 27 days, been in the cabinet a few hours, resigned. So
Yeah.
they're in a mess again. Which, on one hand, if it forces Macron into an election and they finally get uh, a ruling party or a clear winner, and they can actually pass a budget, it's probably going to be positive for the euro. So in the meanwhile, it's loggerheads again, and the market doesn't like it, and it's caught the market on the hop a bit.
I see. So do you think from here, sorry, real quick, do you think from here that we could see some further ooh, shit, a little bit more than I wanted to do there. Whoops, sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to trade at the same time. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
me too.
yeah, I know. It's sometimes a little bit difficult when we're trying to trade and talk at the same time. Do you think
Yeah,
that the euro will actually crack lower? I believe that well, first of all, I'm going to be traveling this week, just so everybody knows. I'm giving everybody here a heads up. A lot of times when I travel, for some reason, that's when the markets completely go upended. When just my timing could not be worse, or maybe some of you might think it's rather impeccable. But if we crack through this level, I think that we might test 116. And I've been looking to get long euros at 116. Should that happen? You have any thoughts here?
yeah, I think it's all possible. It's going to take a bit more in France, a bit more mess to tip it over. But it's been a reminder that the euro hasn't been rallying all year because everything's good in the eurozone. That's what's caught the market. It's a big, hey, we've got these problems going on here. I see this being more of a moving into perhaps a consolidation phase because obviously you've got again what's going on in the US versus what's going on in Europe. So I don't see any reason why this collapses down. Yeah, I could see a move down to 115 maybe. But if you look at the year's trend as a whole, we're still in just minor pullback territory. I think
Yeah,
we've got
you know
to
what
done
you
now.
know what also pulled back really nice, Dale, is this euro sterling. We
Yeah.
completed the range extension, got
Okay.
to the 618 retracement today, and obviously bounced from that. I mean, you guys, if you're Forex Analytics subscribers, you know that happened earlier, and that's something we've been looking for, is for a move back, after the 618 completed, and it has happened as of today. So, maybe these dips that you're seeing here are buying opportunities when you're talking about the euro. Bitcoin just hit a fresh high just a moment ago, and you can see risk just hit a fresh high too. So, I think there's a lot of traders that are coming in this morning going, "Oh my God, like here we go again. Here comes Bitcoin, pushing right back up towards highs. You got the S&P, pushing into this looks like a rising wedge to me, or at least channel resistance, but we're pushing right up into all-time highs again. And I don't know what really stops this train. I really don't. So let me also really quick.
Rates.
Yeah, it could be rates, and again, we have a lot of supply hitting the market a little bit later. But then we had this move in precious metals. I mean, you look at gold, and you should have it right here. I don't know where it's at. Okay, there it is. You got gold, pressing new highs, very divergent relative strength, but that hasn't stopped. That hasn't stopped this whole move. So just, I want to make sure that we, you know, take note of that it's like, okay, well, it's been divergent, but it's constantly been divergent on this whole entire move into new highs from 3700. But Stelios was in our chat room today, and I don't know if he's here today. He is not. He's going to be on for the remainder of the week as I'm out. But Stelios got into the chat room today, and he posted something from a macro point of view for silver, which is really, really important based on somebody like Stelios, who's been bullish silver since I've known him, for the last literally 10 years. And his change in tune is really interesting. So if you guys want more information, make sure you jump in the chat room and get his comments. Matter of fact, speaking of comments, we have Steve is here. Good morning, Steve. How are you doing today? You're muted, by the way.
Good morning, mate.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting ready to leave for the week, so I'm just kind of getting myself mentally prepared for that. But you see
Well,
all
you're
these big.
getting mentally prepared for homecoming, Blake?
I'm getting well. It is homecoming weekend at Ole Miss, but I'm getting my liver prepared for the
Oh,
weekend. It's,
that's what I mean. All right.
that's what
I mean,
basically is happening here.
I
Not the
mean,
best of ideas.
you think there'll be a few kegs floating around your son's dorm?
Frat house? Yes.
Oh, he's in a frat house already?
Yeah, he was pledged last week, and he is
Wow.
officially a Kappa Sig, which is
Uh,
yeah, big house.
the big
Um,
he'll be ready to trade options learning all that Greek.
that's
Right?
true.
Beta, alpha, pi.
There you
If he wants to
go.
learn any Greek, he might as well visit.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
he knows he has Steve as a
Uh,
default at all times. So
uh,
as him and Steve are basketball buddies. But
yeah.
Steve, you're seeing these big moves over the weekend. Do you have any opinions as far as what's happening in Japan and Europe, what's happening with gold? The markets. I mean, big moves are happening.
Yes, big
Anything that
moves are
jumps out?
happening mostly in the yen and the dollar, in essence, right?
Yeah.
But I'll keep repeating the same thing. 98.70 in the DXY. That's all I care about. We've made a nice move towards it today. Can we finally produce some follow through? If we can, and we do, I'm on board with this move. Right. I've been looking at 98.70 since the very beginning of the rebound at that FOMC meeting, because for me, this is the only thing that technically matters at the moment. We see a move above that, and I think we
101.
finally. Sorry, what?
101. We got to move above that 90, above that line. Take it to
One
101.
level at a time. It's not that important. Where we're headed exactly, but we're headed definitely significantly higher.
Well, yeah, let
Even
me
if
push
this,
back. Let me push back on that. It does
sure,
matter.
absolutely.
Okay, because if you're measuring your R to R, profit risk ratio, you have to have some idea what the potential of the trade is. So it does matter.
No. I do agree with you. Yeah, one on one can be the level, but 136 would be the first level I would be looking
Oh,
towards
okay.
the
All right.
previous high, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah.
So in
Okay.
the sense that, I want to take it as always one level at a time, but I do think that at least we're proving that a much more significant rebound is taking place, right?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. What about risk, Steve? If the dollar turns up, is that going to be, I mean, everything's bullish S&Ps, right? Weak dollar, strong dollar, lower rates, higher rates.
We
Do
know
you
for
have a
sure.
do you have
We know for
anything in
sure.
the back of your mind that's going to be the pin to prick this bubble, at least for a correction? I mean, just a correction, five,
We
ten
know for
percent
sure that a dollar positive move is not going to be the best received, right? At least it's going to be, at the very least, a headwind to risk assets, right? At the very least. But it's, on the other hand, it's so hard to fade this market, right?
Yeah.
We need to. I mean, we can't
Uh,
only take it at a theoretical level, right? This
uh,
market has been so strong
Amazing.
for so long that it's extremely hard to become bearish just because of X, and X in this case being, oh, the dollar is turning higher, I should be bearish the equity market. It's not
Well,
that simple.
I know because everyone says Nvidia's the market. Well, Nvidia's down hard today, and some of the AI stocks, Palantir got killed last week. and the market's still making new highs. I think Nvidia's down. What are we down? Then put the
1%.
4 hour chart will show you the. There you go. Yeah, 85, but not as bad. But that's an ugly candle. Put up
Yeah.
Palantir. Put up Palantir. PLTR. That's on the verge.
Yeah, I mean, it's up a little bit this morning, but yeah, I mean, kind of a lower high. I mean, I hear you, Dale, and I think that there are risks, but
I know.
Nvidia is still going to be in breakout territory right now. I mean,
Yeah.
this morning it is, but we're also nearing that 161% extension too,
And
which
look
is
at that
dangerous.
RSI. Look at that RSI. It's not even close to confirming.
Yeah, yeah. And
Anyway,
I
I
mean,
know it's hard. It's hard, because it's been going on so long. Just like, no one thinks there'll ever be a correction in the metals either.
Yeah, I
It,
mean, we're long overdue, but just because we're long overdue doesn't mean it's coming or it's here. I mean, I just look at I know we're at channel
I'm short
resistance, so
silver
it's.
now again.
Oh, you need to jump in the chat room and talk to Stelios then. He's got some he'll be here tomorrow, so he's gonna have some wise words for everybody regarding silver.
Okay.
Yeah, so make sure you're around for that. Hey, look,
I,
we got a
I'll,
few minutes before who's your guest today?
I'm trying to get Peter
Oh,
Goodburn.
Peter Goodburn.
Which Peter
Okay.
of all?
Uh
Peter Goodburn.
Ah,
Peter
okay.
Goodburn, the LA-tician. He'll be here in a few minutes. So therefore, Ryan, what are you looking at today? What are you looking to trade here?
Apart from this dollar yen, I'm
Yes.
keeping an eye on that dollar mex because we could be looking at a potential breakout up the top if we keep tapping on that 1850.
Yeah, that's an interesting trend line. It's been holding us since May, and we get much above 1850, and you got to be on the long side. I mean, I'm long. I'm just saying you can join my party anytime there, buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm still short.
Republicans or Democrats?
Independent, baby, independent. No,
Okay.
but I like it. I like that you're looking at that. Hey, Steve, what are you looking at today? I know the dollar. You said the dollar index. That's all you really care about. Is this
Yeah, because this ties up with
98.70?
everything in the market, more or less, right?
Right. 618 retracement, big resistance zone. You can see you going all the way back to basically beginning of August. It's really capped
Yeah.
the market, and again, it's the 618 retracement. So we get above that 98.70, and
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah,
pretty
and
bullish.
this way we break the sequence of lower highs also, which is like the most fundamental approach to a trend, right?
Yeah,
To the trend that we've had. So
sure.
I've this is the level I've given since the very, very, very first moment of the reversal. That's all I care.
Okay. All right. Very, very good. And then, for me, I'm really just again, I'm gonna reiterate, I'm gonna be out for the remainder of the week. But I am looking at the euro at 116. I think this is going to be really key. The euro is underperforming against a lot of different crosses. Even the euro yen, if you want to see a really interesting chart, we broke out above this channel resistance. This is obviously the weekend gap. We hit basically the 161% extension, or came really damn close. We've come back, retested that channel. But watch the euro. I mean, the euro yen. It's still. I know it's pulled back to this channel, but this could be a very supportive level for a pair that's really looking to break out in a big way. And that's if the yen continues the weekend and the euro continues to push back up towards 120. We've got a euro yen that could be trading well above 180. So, I mean, this is a big move. I mean, you guys take a look at how big this long-term chart is of euro yen. What do you think about this, Dale? That's a euro yen.
Yeah. I'll be looking for a reason to sell it. I'll
Yeah,
wait, but I'll wait for 52 or so that line I showed in the yen before I start selling yen crosses.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you can
we're
look at
not
it
there yet.
you can maybe look at it something like
I
that.
think eventually these are going to be great shorts. The yen crosses, I think, are going to be great shorts. So
Mm. Well, they've been sticky, and the news that, I mean, what had happened over the weekend was, as Ryan said, it wasn't expected, and
it's a
everybody.
sigma. Don't they call these, Ryan, sigma events, and they put a number on it like the Richter scale? These
Yeah,
financial events.
yeah. I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a
So
statistical depiction of the low, how many sigma is, in essence, a statistical depiction of how low probabilities, something has of manifesting based
yeah,
on, obviously, past data, right? Because that's how
yeah.
statistics are built.
Well, sigma's probably Greek too, or the root, right?
Sorry, what?
Sigma.
What?
What we're talking about.
Yes,
Sigma,
what?
yeah, that it's Greek. The root is Greek, sigma.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, that
the word,
because
yes.
yeah, because you said the root, and my mind went to mathematics. That's why I got confused. Yes, you're right about
Mine went to my teeth. It made me remember my last root canal. So
that.
anyway, all right. Good hearing from you, Steve. Blake,
Good hearing your
you
voice as
want
always, Dale, as every day.
yeah, I'm an
You make our
Iron
mornings better.
Thank you so much. Back at you. So Blake, you want to wrap it? Peter is here.
Yeah. I would just want to say, hey, everybody, have a great week. You're going to be, obviously Ryan's here, Steve's here, Stelios is here, Dale's always here. K-Man's going to be back for a couple of days as he's been going back and forth to Belgium. But he'll be back, I think, midweek. Greg is going to be here throughout the week. Nick from Trading Analytics is going to be jumping on. So you guys make sure you're here every morning at the same time, and have a great trading week. I'll catch a lot of you in the chat room because I'll be in the chat room as I'm traveling. But for the rest of you guys that are not in the Forex Analytics community, have a wonderful week. Good luck in trading and good luck with these markets right at these highs. And Dale, have a great interview with Peter Goodburn.
Blake, have a safe journey there and
Thank you.
back, and enjoy, enjoy.
Thank you. Will do.
All right. And Ryan, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
Going to be counting on you, bro.
As always, I'll be here,
All right,
mate.
I know I can too. So let's bring in my trading warrior brother, Peter Goodburn. Uh, Peter, always good to talk to you, buddy. How you feeling this morning? A big topic is the yen.
Yeah,
Maybe we start there. Um, I know that you were looking for a higher U.S. dollar yen. I don't think you expected it to evolve in this manner, but if you want to share, maybe you could give us some of your potential wave count in U.S. dollar yen, since that's really the major financial event today. And
yeah,
welcome
sure.
back, bud. And welcome back, brother.
Thank you very much indeed for inviting me. Yeah, it's good to catch the back end of the guys and the discussion, and yeah, that was very enjoyable. Yeah, I think that generally speaking, the yen is a little bit dislocated to the rest of the currencies because it's quite weak, isn't it? And
Yeah,
I was listening to your comments about the fact that at some stage it'd be worth buying the yen against all the other currencies.
yeah,
And I sort of believe that's to be true as well. So something in the dynamics in the current narrative will have to shift, won't it? Because at the
yeah,
moment it's shifting the other way, and we're seeing the continued weakening of the yen relative to the dollar and the other currencies at the moment. But we're getting to a point now where down the road it looks very much as if we're going to see yen strength, maybe just not quite yet. And this flip up today on the news flow.
you
Um,
want to share your screen, bro?
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Or
Yeah,
I could.
yeah,
Either
I
or.
can do it. Sorry, I thought
That's
I was already active. Yeah, yeah.
your
Let's see if that.
voices, not the pictures. Here, I'll even say hello to you.
Hi,
How you doing?
yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I can see you. That's
This is
great.
what I'm like on a Monday morning.
That's great. Yeah, where's my, do you want to
All
see?
right,
Okay, I'll put my video on. Well, let's do it.
all
Let's,
right.
okay. But you know, overall you can see my dollar yen chart here.
Yeah,
And we have what's interesting about this is that we have a decline from the January high, 158.88, and we've declined in 5 ways to April. And then since then, we've been working our way back up into a correction.
yeah,
And I have to say that at the beginning of the movement up here, I thought that we would see a coincidental dollar rally enough that would align to these types of upside targets, and then we get a resumption of the downtrend in the dollar. But you can see that the yen's been so weak, it's been way ahead of the game. If we compare this to the dollar index,
yeah. Much weaker response to.
yeah, I mean, here's the April low, which is the orthodox low for the dollar yen from January's decline. This is a 5-wave
Right.
impulse, so we've got a coincidental sort of low there. But you can see here, you know, we've been trading twice below those levels,
Right.
and we still haven't had the punch up. So this is intriguing for me because, you know, actually I had a meeting with my guys this morning, and we were discussing this dislocation. But then my colleague said, "Oh, Aussie yen." Actually,
Aussie's not moving at all today, Peter. It's like immune from all the outside pressures or positive action. It's just comatose.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he was saying to me, "Well, Aussie yen is reaching our upside targets here. This is really from April's low. Don't forget, April was the bottom in the stock market.
Right.
It was also the bottom of intermediate wave 1 in the dollar index. But he's saying, well, this rally is finished. And I tend to agree. And that means that we're ready to start pulling down quite a bit lower here in this phase. So
Yeah, that's a big move.
that's a huge move. So we're thinking in those terms. And of course, if we relate that to, say, dollar yen, come back, oh, sorry, that's Aussie dollar. We come back to dollar yen. And I've said, well, look, if we get to 152 pretty soon, and then we're supposed to heading down, how does that configure with the dollar going up still? Because we're nowhere near fully correcting the dollar to the upside. Don't forget that the last Bank of America survey reports show that the dollar positioning is at 20-year lows. 20-year lows.
Yeah.
I mean, this is way oversold. So we know from that we've got a very high probability of the dollar having a punch up to the upside in the months ahead. But this is limited, really. This pattern here. We could stretch it a bit more, but I don't think it's necessary. So how does that configure? And the whole axis of that argument comes really back to the fact that the yen will suddenly become a stronger currency. Because we can see it against the crosses. We can see it against the yen, sterling, euro. We can see it against all of them, Aussie dollar.
So even while the dollar's strengthening, the yen could strengthen too.
Yes. And then you've got to ask yourself, under what conditions would that arise? Why are we seeing that happen?
Risk off?
Risk off, exactly.
Okay.
So that gives us a bit of a thumbs up that we're approaching a high. Not only in the Aussie dollar, in the way that the Aussie yen was pushing up. We can see this from we go back to that chart a moment. It's weekly. Oh, that's Aussie not. Sorry. Currencies. Aussie yen. Here we go. So we can see that this upswing was from April. But if that's finishing, then so should the stock market.
Okay.
That's the assumption that we're working off at the moment. That basically the entire stock market is about to lean over. So when we take a look at the Mag 7s, we haven't got much left in here. This is
Okay.
April's advance. We're labeling 5 waves with a 5th extension up here.
We just need one more high.
Yeah, and the 4th wave, this was August. And we've got to subdivide that into 5 waves. 1, 2, 3. We're having a little bit of a sideways at the moment for 4, and then we get a 5th.
Okay.
So
Probably
once that's happened, and we're talking about the next week or two, once that's happened, then we should be completed. Then we should be looking at sort of, I think you can time this upswing here to 66.80 thereabouts with dollar yen getting up to this 52.13 level.
got it.
So we need to watch all these very carefully. My assumption also was that if we see risk off, and that means sort of like, yen strength, dollar strength, we should also see risk off in precious metals as well, because the newspapers and the media is full of gold going up, silver going up.
Everywhere you can't turn anywhere without people talking about gold. The newspaper boy is telling people to buy gold now.
Yeah, I mean, it's made front page of the Financial Times. If that's not good enough to buy some puts, I don't know. But it's beginning to look like that. So my assumption is that we're pretty close to an interim high for gold. Now, the longer term gold chart's still very bullish, but we're not interested in trading that longer term at the moment. We know where the trends are.
Yeah.
The trends are quite significantly higher. But if you take a look at silver and gold at the moment, if you look at the bottom right-hand side, we're moving up 5 ways from this early August low. And if we let's extend ways 1 to 3. So this is how we do it. So we're going to extend ways 1 to 3 like this. You can see we're hitting it this morning.
Yeah. We did. And you know what? There's a super moon tonight.
Ah, is there? That's important.
The harvest moon. So I've been telling people, what do you do during the harvest? You trim, you reap, you reap your crops, and saying, might not be a bad time to start taking some profits on certain assets that have had good runs in your favor. You don't want to be like the farmers in the Midwest that are letting their beans rot in the field because they don't have a market to sell into. Almost every asset class, you have willing buyers. So it's not going to be hard to, for your sell orders to get absorbed. So it looks like really it's still all one market, Peter, and isn't it still all really dollar centric? If you get the dollar right, you get mostly everything else right, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah, I think so. I think that I mean the stock market is doing its quirky things, but we're getting we had a look at Broadcom last week, within the Mag 7s, because that's like number 2 in the semiconductor stakes, just behind pecking order of Nvidia. And where is it? Here we go. And Broadcom is quite interesting because it's finishing 5 waves up from October 22 up here. That's actually a 3rd wave in a much larger wave development to the upside. But if you'll notice, we've already started divergence, because if you go back here to last month, 11th of September, we've already had 5 waves down, which is telling us directional change has already occurred to the downside. So all of these other equities haven't got much to do left, to the upside. If they're outperforming slightly, that's okay. They can nudge slightly to higher highs, like Nvidia. But basically, the far end of finishing these movements. So that's Broadcom, and it's not a fringe equity. This is number 2.
One of our viewers is asking for what you think about AMD. It's up 34%. Will it take all the chips up with them?
AMD is up 34%. What was the news on that?
I don't know. What was the news? What was the news, Saloon? AJ? Is it where they gave money to someone, an OpenAI deal?
OpenAI deal. Okay, thanks for the
That's
tip
where
off.
these companies are now giving each other money to generate, buzz, right?
AMD.
Have you noticed that they're, you know, they're investing with each other now?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's down to, yeah, I mean, that type of cross investment's been going on for since my grandmother started trading in the early
Oh,
1900s. I mean,
all right. I thought it was like a new thing for this cycle that they were doing that.
no, I mean, you only got to sort of start linking back to the Rothschilds and the Battenbergs,
Oh,
and it's all a bit incestuous.
okay.
AMD. So what is the share price then if it's up 34%? Because this is not showing pre-market here. This is Friday's close.
It's called vendor financing. What's the last in AMD, guys? 224.
224.
So it's already started that wave
Oh, well,
there.
that's nice because
Yeah.
we're getting up to sort of these sort of numbers, which makes it interesting because we're expecting this diagonal to develop, and we need the April run up to finish 5 waves around where that number
Where's
is.
where it is now, right
Where it
around
is
where it
now,
is
just
now.
maybe a tiny bit higher. The reason why I tell you the calculations that we've used here. So we've taken 100, see a third wave in an ending expanding diagonal should be slightly bigger than the first wave. So we've multiplied that out to 123.6. I'm just making sure it's on the magnet. So that's how we arrived at 446. And then we know that this has got to be a zigzag to replicate this zigzag here. If you want to know where wave A will develop, you have to take the golden rate, you have to create a golden ratio. So you click 61.8, you measure from 76.48 up to here, and then drag down. That's where the light blue line is.
Okay.
So it could be a last hurrah for AMD. You'd have to watch it, but that's quite nice because it was lagging behind before, whereas we saw some of these other chip markets and AMD as the principal makers to a little bit running behind schedule. That news has obviously flipped it up right into sort of some of the numbers now. So it actually has caught up. So that would be very fascinating. Just seeing if I've got a worksheet on that. Let's have a look. This is because if we're getting up to 224, well, it looks like a 5-wave pattern finishing up here once it opens in the next hour. So once
It's harvest. It's a
it
harvest
is.
moon to loom. You know what you do during the harvest. I know that you come from a long line of farmers, right? All you AMD bulls.
Yeah.
Why not put something in the silo? Not all of it, but how about something in the silo? I okay, so yeah, so why don't we give people the uh, share your bigger picture in S&Ps because with what you said about the yen and what you're saying about Mag 7, and we should be completing something here in the S&Ps. I know people have been looking for places to do it. You think there's another 100 handles in it? 68.75?
Well, I think that's a maximum. Last week I was looking at a sort of a nice ending diagonal pattern in the very short term. We can see that on the next graphic here.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
not
thought
happening.
this is so yeah, it's getting it 68.75 might be a push. The reason why that's an important number is because it's if you take April's initial swing up in the first wave and extend by 1618, that's a really hard number. If you extend,
Yeah,
you've got to extend the first waves by 1618. So they're really
okay.
hard numbers. But it may not stretch that far. It'd be interesting to see how this works out this afternoon because one of the things that caught my attention was from mid-September from the 6611. we've moved up in 3 waves. There wasn't any visible 5-wave structure in there. It was pretty messy, but it's really principally only 3 waves. Then we get this pullback, and then we get this rally in 3 waves as well.
Yeah.
And, if you extend, it's maybe a little bit short, but I think if you extend this by 61.8 here, yeah, it's a little bit short last week, but that's pretty accurate.
In the ballpark.
To finish, yeah, it's close enough. And then we got some reaction down. So if this is a diagonal, if these 3 wave movements up in the first wave and here is being replicated, then this has got to be a diagonal. Unlikely to be anything else at this juncture. So we need a bit of a downswing this week.
And then one more push.
And then a little bit of a push. Now, sometimes Elliott, when he wrote his original monograph, he said, well, in diagonals, sometimes the 5th wave basically overextends. He called it throw over above the upper boundary line.
Right.
So you can get a bit of an exaggeration. It might, if there was a bit of an accompanying piece of news and it suddenly lurched itself up to 68.75, and you wouldn't put it out of the question. But generally speaking, actually throwovers are pretty rare. They don't often happen.
Unless I'm short.
Unless Dale Pinkert's.
And then I'm in. Peter, is it possible? What would tell you that, maybe we're making new highs today, that instead of a pullback and one more push, it can't be an ending diagonal with only a 3. You need it to pull back and do a 5. What would revise your count to say that maybe we're finishing in here? Because if the yen has another day or even half as much sometime this week, we're at your targets. It could be there this week.
Well, the only other alternative, because we're basically counting 5 ways up from 63.71.
Yeah.
And the only other way, if the S&P sort of broke up, it would convert this 3-wave pattern into 5.
I see. Well, isn't that what it's doing today? It's making a new high.
Well, it's not done so far. At least not on my chart.
On my S&Ps, it's making new highs today.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, you're probably using the cash that's not open yet.
No, this is the futures.
Oh, okay. Huh, okay.
I don't think we're trading. The Nasdaq's a bit higher, but the S&P is not.
Okay.
I've got a December outright contract. This is a continuation chart.
I see. It's a December. Okay.
But no, this is a continuation chart.
Oh,
so
okay.
it is actually 67.84 is December.
Okay. Got it.
It's December contract. But this this is the most active traded contract month at the moment. So it should be reliable. But if it were to break up, then we might be in a situation where this converts into 5 ways, but then this would become a running flat, 3, 3, and 5 down. And this then would have the potential to actually be topping out immediately.
Right.
So that would be...
I think we have to be on our toes the next 2 weeks, that's for sure.
Well, certainly this week, yeah. I mean, I think this week is really, really important. I mean, I'm fairly interested to see how silver and gold are getting along, because as far as I'm concerned, they should be, a top in the equity markets, and gold should be roughly the same. They might be a week apart max, but that's all. Otherwise, we should be heading down pretty much in the same way. We can get divergence. For example, gold is hitting the upside targets that I have at the moment, give or take 20, 30 bucks. You could have gold suddenly jump downwards or pull lower rather. And this, when it makes a higher high, if this were to come down to 67.05 and then have one more jump, you might just get a bearish divergence then, because gold might have already dropped in 5 waves and you get a 3-wave rally in gold, you see?
Yes.
So then you get a bearish divergence, then you really know that you're onto something, and then you can start leveraging into your trading when something like that happens. watch for silver as well. If you take a look at the gold silver ratio, you know, that's something that I'm watching on an
It
hour by hour
looks like it's
basis.
bottoming out here for a bear market rally.
Yeah, because
Not quite, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
we actually had targets a few months ago when it was still up here. We had targets down to 81.30, and it's traded into that. It's 81.44 right now. I did a recalculation last week and put a 61.8 correlation ratio into here, which brings it down to 79.63. But basically, that's finished. So again, we're seeing April five-way development, and you're looking at five-way development up from the Mag 7s. You're looking five-way development up for the S&P. You're looking at a five-wave development in dollar yen, which actually bottomed in April and is undergoing its correction. So there are certain attributes and timing attributes which are being cross-referenced here, and they shouldn't be too far off when the turn comes for each of them.
All right. Well, Peter, I want to wrap it with something about the journey of what I've gone through, what you've gone through. And, you and I have had discussions about what a great vehicle trading was and the markets were to learn about ourselves. So, do you agree with that statement? And what have you learned about yourself that you may not have discovered if you hadn't have taken this path into the markets?
Wow, that's a big question, but undoubtedly and wholeheartedly, I agree with you. I mean, to me, the markets are a very excellent mirror in your own self-development. I mean, you can become an analyst and still learn a lot. But when you're trading, you're going to learn about your own character. When do you push the panic button? When you're not supposed to do that? When do you keep your sane mind approach and character building? It's really a great test. I think Elliott Wave, for my own journey, has been a fantastic instructor because it tells me a little bit about some of the background of universal laws. I started to get really intrigued about that aspect of Elliott's own discoveries. So I went into studying the Platonic solids as patterns, as a baseline, and the theory behind some of the consciousness that Pythagoras started to talk about, aligning to God as the number. And I went into very esoteric scenarios, and then went ultimately into meditation, and found that there were some very big insights coming through into the way that we see the universe dispel itself and evolve itself. And it tells you a lot about your own character. Trading is a completely interesting dimension because you really have to be introspective, and you also have to be very, very particular about what decisions you make. One of the things that I used to get with institutional clients who were trading behind the desk in some of the big funds was, when they lost money, they used to complain like hell. Well, none of us like giving away money. But I sort of said to them, look, this is a part of self-development. And like everything in life, ultimately, you make your own decisions. It's about let's say, it's not only self-empowerment, but it's about self-determination and taking self-responsibility. That's the key word.
Yeah.
But that's something that we have to do every day of our lives, self-responsibility.
Yeah.
Take the knocks. I mean, no one's going to be able to win every trade. That's just not likely. Even some of the best setups. I've been caught twice on silver in the last 2 months when we've seen eloquent five-wave declines, really from a top which can't be part of expanding flat patterns. And yet I've been stopped out. Well, take the hit. Okay. If that's what's happening, fine, take the hits. They're the fringe outliers where you're going to lose money. But keep consistency and take your own knocks and recognize that your self-responsibility is absolutely paramount. You will mature as a person. You won't blame anybody else, but you're going to learn a lot. And this is the main thing. If we can do nothing but learn about ourselves, our own self-development, our own consciousness through this application of trading, then it's a big win. You don't even need to push the P&L up significantly. Then you're a winner. You're already a winner. You're a winning trader. You're a winning person. That's the biggest take home.
What a winning interview. Really, so some compelling looks in the market, and lots of experience behind those statements. You know, like I said, you can't learn experience. You have to live it and go through the time and live through adversity. And if that scares you, do something else. But definitely, I mean, it even took me into my childhood, Peter. For a while, I wondered, why can't I sit with a trade? Why can't I hold positions longer? And it really went back to scarcity. And you've seen my mother struggle to raise a family.
Yeah.
So if I have a profit out there, I'm taking it for mom and me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that slip away. So you go in with a paradigm that you had when you were 8 years old, and then
Well,
you
that's
have to,
it.
right?
Yeah, I mean, that is it. I mean, we all hold on to things. I mean, I've got a godson who's texting me at weekend saying, "What's the next big trade, Unc?" Because these guys are networking and they're doing AI. They're
Yeah.
looking at the next big trade, and then they make a couple of $1,000 and they jump out. But they've been doing good. They've only been catching
Yeah.
winners in this big run up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh God, this is, how do I teach? How do I begin to teach this guy that this momentum will fade? The problem is that if he goes into the same sort of leverage, all of the smaller accumulations that will build up can get wiped out in one trade. And that's the problem. That's the
I've
problem.
done it.
Then your P&L goes backwards, and then you struggle mentally. Then you don't know.
But you're learning about yourself.
You're learning about yourself. You're learning
Yeah.
really about how you respond to these things,
Yeah.
and not blame anybody, or
Right.
don't blame the market if it trades down against you.
People
Don't blame
do,
it.
Peter. They go, "Oh, I got burned by the yen. I'll never trade the yen again." You didn't
Yeah.
get burned by the yen. You were wrong.
Yeah, you got to do your homework. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm poring over stuff here, probably more than anybody else on the planet almost. I'm looking at every wrinkle
You,
I've got
yeah.
7,000 pages of saved charts here. I mean, and I've it's incredible. You just need to do
Still
your cross
challenging.
correlation and charts, and you can still miss stuff.
Yeah.
You just got to be. I tell you, the main thing: have a network of about 20 different markets that you look at, and that's it. Don't go any more than that, because
Yeah.
it's too much of a mind blow, because you can't retain all the information. But try and do some cross correlation work, even if it means you're not trading other stuff, but you're watching it, because the cross correlations are really, really important.
Yeah. A lot of people poo-poo them. They go, "Oh, well, they change, they disconnect, so
But
they
that's
could throw
good.
you off."
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
good. That's good if they disconnect, because then you can see some subtle changes going on. Just like we are looking at, the dollar yen's been my proxy for the currencies since April, but it's now departed from that. And then it forces us to look at the crosses in that to see what's going on. One thing can lead you to clues to another. You've got to be a bit of a Sherlock Holmes here. But try not to look at too much, because once you get intimate with your network, I have a certain network of crossing between US indices and European indices, and a bit of Asian. And on the currency side, keep to the G10s, but look at a couple of the crosses, like we are doing with the yen at the moment. But don't go too far ahead, and try and look at the correlations involved, and seeing how they pitch. I mean, we know that, for example, the 10-year Treasury yields has a very strong correlation to what the dollar's doing. And the 10-year Treasury yields at the moment are doing something which tells us that it should be heading up for a while. We should be going back to the May highs. And, you know, something as simple as that could be really, really useful if you want to trade the currencies. You said the dollar is everything, if you know what the dollar's doing. But I would contend that, hey, look, this rally, well, certainly going back to the May decline in 10-year Treasury yields, you've got a double zigzag, right?
Yeah.
You can see that replicated in the 2-year. If I show you the 2-year yields, it's not fluke that it's just on the 10s. Here is the 2-year yield. Look at this double zigzag decline here. Yeah. Now that's not a fluke. Now you've done some good homework there. Now look at the swing up following this double zigzag. It's come back to a previous low. Right. It hasn't broken. If you go to the 2-year, you got almost an equal low here as well. So these lows aren't getting broken, and yet they're declining into 7 price swings, double zigzags.
And the Fed is easing during this, which has everyone wrong-footed.
Exactly. Now let's look at the move up from 398, okay? And if you take a look at an intraday, look, we got 5 waves up from 398 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last week, we had a nice zigzag correction.
61.8.
Oh, sorry, my fonts are a bit small here. Let me just change that. So we can put wave A in here, B up, and if you measure 100% of wave A, subtract from B, pray presto, you get here exactly. Look,
61.8.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, saw that late last week.
Yeah, and now the yield's pushing up again.
Yeah,
which is confirming further upside progression. Now, if that happens, take a look at your dollar.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not surprising then to see dollar strength coming back in again.
Yeah, right.
You know,
so you definitely have put the jigsaw puzzle together for a lot of people today here in this interview.
Great.
And so I want, you know, if people want to say thank you and want to learn more about, you know, reading from an experienced guy who does the kind of work, hard work that you do, how they get a hold of you, and why don't you show your website?
Well, thanks, Dale. Yeah, if anybody cluing in would like to see what we're doing, this is wavetrack.com. So this is our main page. And if we go to subscriptions, you can actually see a subscription here for Elliott Wave Compass. We're going to be starting to raise the prices in November. It's been $39 for 12, 13, 14 years. We haven't changed any pricing for that time.
Oh, I think the Fed put that into their CPI to get to their 2%
target. So as of next month, you know, we're going to raise the price up to $54. But so there's a good chance to grab something interesting here. You can actually take subscriptions longer. But, you know, it's a great product because it's twice a week. We're going to be reporting on all of this stuff here. And you'll get access to the Elliott Wave Compass software. And these are all the contracts in the latest report. So actually, there's a very interesting one which you can download. If you do subscribe, you can download last Friday's report because we've got a semiconductor SOSX there.
Yeah.
Because that's telling us if I click on this, it should go into a big screen.
Yeah.
And you can see that April's decline, because this is a 3 times bear. Yeah. And that might be a nice trade if we can just get a little bit lower. So yeah, you can contact us through that. That would be great if anybody would like to join us. We've got a great community and we've got some really nice setups to come through. So that's the best way to be in touch with what we're doing. Yeah.
Thanks for giving a lot of that away today, Peter. Appreciate your generous nature. Every time you come here, you give people actionable things to do and turning points to pay attention to. And we thank you. We
No,
all do.
I really appreciate it, and it's great to talk to everybody and see everybody's comments. And yeah, let's burn it. Let's really get going here, because there's some
All right.
exciting things coming down the pipe, and yeah, we just need to focus now. Yeah.
All right. Good hunting, my trading warrior brother. Peter Goodburn, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Follow him. He's
God
not that
bless.
active on X, but follow him and check out his stuff. I read it. I get
Excellent.
it, and has helped me.
Thanks a lot, Dale.
So thank you so much, Peter. Have a great week, buddy.
Yeah, all the best to you. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, now remember, everyone, don't just count your waves, count your blessings. I'll see you. The rest of the team will be on the morning edge in 5 minutes. We ran over a little bit. Hope you enjoyed it. It was recorded. You need to watch it again.